Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so cutely dressed today because I was filming another thrifting video for you guys and this was one of the outfits. It's so cute, absolutely love it, and I thought I would leave it for this video to record myself in a more cuter way. Okay, in this video I want to talk to you guys about my career in nursing, how I started, and all the way until pretty much today. I think it will be very interesting for you guys because it's been nearly 5 years now, and if you've been with me on my channel from the very start when I just started my diploma of general nursing at TAFE, you've probably been watching me grow until today. And yeah, I thought let's just sum it up and see where I am today, what's been happening through all these 5 years, what I have achieved, and so on. Also, this hat reminds me of my country. I feel like I'm in autumn in my country. You know, when we have an autumn season, a lot of women would wear these cute berets and just a scarf around your neck, but it's too hot in my house to wear a scarf, so I'm even sweating like in this leather top, but I just find it so cute. Okay guys, so in 2008, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so yeah, 5 years ago, in 2008 I decided to do my nursing career. I went to TAFE and I enrolled myself into Diploma of Enrolled Nursing to become an EN, which is enrolled nurse. So I've studied for 18 months full time, and after my first semester I had my placement in aged care. I think it was 3 weeks back then, and it was one of the private aged cares in my area. I have went there for my placement, and after 2 weeks, on our last third week of placement, our facilitator, I remember, spoke to us and she said it would be great for you guys if you want to gain experience in healthcare to start as a carer or AAN while you continue in your studies, so then when you graduate you have some sort of experience in this field, not as EN yet, but as an assistant of a nursing, which means AAN. And then when you will be applying for EN positions or even for a grad EN program, it will look really nice on your resume if you have some sort of experience. And I thought about it and I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. I spoke to the managers at that aged care facility and they interviewed me and they took me in. So since then, from my first semester to my second to my third till the end of my whole diploma, I was working as a casual carer in aged care facility, and I was continuing to study full-time for my diploma of enrolled nursing. Okay, of course, when I had my placements I couldn't study because I needed to go for the whole placement to practice at the hospital, so I needed to take breaks. But working as a casual employee in aged care facility was really good kind of deal for me because I could control my hours. I could take time off anytime I needed to write assessments, like really big ones. I needed to take time for my placements, I could do that as well. And it was a really good rate because casuals get more than the regular staff, and I could pick up shifts on the weekends in advance as well. So that was a win-win situation for me, although it was quite hard because I remember back then TAFE would take 3 days out of my week for studies, being in a campus physically myself, just being in a class for nearly the whole day, and then the rest of the days I was picking up the shifts, and I also needed to see my children and I needed to have time off. So physically it was quite exhausting and tiring, but experience and money wise it was a win-win situation. Then when I finished my diploma of EN, obviously I've got my registration of EN, I worked a little bit as EN, and I enrolled right away to do my RN degree as well. Okay, so I was staying at the same facility and then I was studying my RN degree. So same things, I was still staying casual, I didn't go anywhere else, same place. But then I've done my uni, which was a Sunshine Coast University uni in the same campus where I had my TAFE. So they were all kind of like in one area, in my area where I live, which was really comfortable. My aged care facility where I started as a carer was just 10 minutes drive away, and then TAFE and uni was another 10 minutes, kind of like in two different directions. But it was working perfectly for me in terms of time and drive distance wise. So it was great. So I was again continuing for the 2 years of studies at uni, studying a full-time. I was still continuing full-time. I wanted to finish my degree of nursing as fast as I could. I always saw myself as a registered nurse. It was just a matter of how many steps it will take me to get there. That's why right after TAFE, I went to the uni. They gave me credit, I think, for 8 units from my diploma of general nursing, as far as I remember, and I needed to study for 2 more years full-time. Okay, so I was working casual, I was studying. Uni wasn't that bad as TAFE. I didn't need to be there 3 times a week. Also COVID hit, so I think it was like the whole year we were like on a distant learning through the video calls and Zooms meetings and all of that. So that was a little bit different. Even the labs, I remember they were through the meetings, through the Zoom meetings. Like we would watch our teacher performing in labs, you know, on the mannequins and explaining us things, and we would interact with them through the video call, all the class. It was quite an interesting experience, but yeah, so that was a little bit easier, so I could work, because during the COVID time, oh my gosh, the healthcare sector was in desperate need of nurses, carers, any type of health practitioners, because they all were getting sick of COVID. I had COVID twice, you know, the patients were always sick, so we desperately needed workers. So during the COVID time, despite the fact that I couldn't go to the uni, I actually had so much work and I was able to save some money. So when I needed to go to the placements, I had some money to pay my bills, my rent, everything, plus the parking. Most of the hospitals in Queensland have paid parking. I know it sucks, but it is what it is. You needed to pay for parking plus the petrol and all of that. So yeah, so it was a good kind of opportunity for me. Then when I finished my uni, I have applied in 5 different aged cares to start as a registered nurse while I was waiting for my grad program to kick in. So in my last semester, before finishing the uni, I have applied for a grad position with the Queensland Health as a registered nurse. I thought it would be a best way for me to step into the public sector, like a private hospital, work for the government, without yet having any experience. Okay, so I have applied for a grad position. It was whole bunches of processes, like steps in the process of applying. It was, you needed to write the selective criteria, you needed to update your resume, your cover letter. Then because of the COVID, they couldn't see you in person to do the interview, so we needed to record ourselves a video talking about the standards, nursing standards, and also ethical points of that particular hospital that we were applying for, and also Queensland Health in general, how we would apply respect, ethical points, safety, and all of that in our work when we become nurses on the floor. So I think it was like 5 or 8 minutes video that we needed to record of ourselves and send it. And then we needed to do a medication calculation test as well, which was live. I think it was 10 people per time, and I can't remember how many minutes they gave it to us. So I've passed all of that, and I think after 2 months or something like that, they told us that out of 1,000, was it 400? I think it was 400. Out of 1,400, they only picked 600 students. And I was one of them, which was unbelievably happy moment for me. I was so proud of myself because I've done so much of hard work writing selective criteria. It took me 4 days to write those bloody selective criteria and learn how to do it, because like I was doing everything on my own, and like I was researching things on my own, and I was just like figuring things out on my own. Yeah, so it was pretty tough. So then I knew that I was accepted through the grad program, but yet they couldn't give me the date when I'm starting. So I finished my uni knowing that I was accepted already, but I needed to do something in the meantime. I needed to put my knowledge into practice as a registered nurse, freshly registered nurse. So I thought, okay, while I'm waiting for my grad program to start and one of the hospitals to call me and invite me to start my contract, I'm going to apply to the aged care facilities, as many as I could. So I've picked 5 that moment and I've applied through all of them. They all accepted me. It was like 4 accepted me right away. I had all the interviews and stuff, and then the 5th one called me later. One of them was the most like fastest in organizing my way in, and they were the most nicest actually. My aged care where I work up until today as a casual registered nurse now, they are a new building built by QUT University. It's amazing, beautiful building. We have 4 floors, and then separately dementia lockup unit in a building beside it. We have an emergency bay which is massive. We have such beautiful rooms for the residents. We have all the healthcare practitioners working with us. We have a beautiful team. I absolutely love this place up until today, and I still pick up casual shifts there. So they took me in. They've taught me for the first couple of months pretty much like I always had someone teaching me. They were also running grad position for registered nurses through the aged care sector, so just specializing on aged care. Yes, there is something like this exists, guys. It's not only grad programs for Queensland Health. Aged care facilities actually run grad programs as well through them, but that grad program, it will be focusing on aged care policies and procedures, whereas Queensland Health, it's more like a clinical side. Okay, so they have offered me grad position through them, but I told them that I already applied for the grad position with Queensland Health. I was not hiding the fact that before even me starting working for them, I told them that I have applied already through the grad position with Queensland Health, and I was accepted, and I'm waiting for them to call me to start with them. And I told them that after that I will accept it, obviously, and I will move to the hospital, but on my remaining days I will still work for you as casual. So they knew all of that, and they still took me in. I have worked there for 3 months, and then in April, so I started like I think the end of January, February, March, April, they called me from hospital and they have offered me a position in a general medicine ward, which I was so happy about, and I accepted it. And yes, and then I started my journey at the hospital. So up until today, I'm doing 7 shifts a fortnight, and then I'm picking up additional 2 to 3 in my aged care, the same aged care that I started just before accepting my grad program at the hospital. And yeah, it's been so great. So on 23rd of April of this year, I have finished my grad year. Yes, congratulations to me. It just flew like that, guys. Literally, my ward is so busy, and all those modules that we needed to do and the shift work that I do, I just felt like the whole year, it just passed like that. It was so quick. And then I spoke to my NAM and I expressed my interest of staying on the ward for another year to see how I go. And he was like, yeah, sure, we will keep you. And he said, but this time you will be employed through the medical service line, and this means our ward will be your primary ward still, and he will be my primary NAM. But if someone will get sick in a palliative care unit, in rehab, in surgical ward, we have different types of surgical wards as well, then they might call me in to replace that person for a couple of weeks or a month or a month and a half. But my NAM said it might happen like 20% out of 100, but most of the time I will be staying on a ward. And I do have a couple of grads who work with me now on my ward, who started before me, and they told me that like some of them were not even sent anywhere on the second year, already out of a program, of a grad program year. And one girl, she was sent for 1.5 months to rehab, and the rest of the year she just stayed on a ward. So look, I don't mind like to be sent somewhere else for the sake of experience, because I've been to other wards in my hospital as a student and as a grad, and it's been wonderful. I've been picking up some extra shifts in palliative care unit, in rehab, and it's been fine. Like I've been as a surgical student for most of my pracs, so going into surgical ward, it will be a good coming back for me. I've missed surgical wards actually. So yeah, so now this is the current moment for me, guys. I'm still staying in my general medicine ward, which is amazing ward. I never expected that medical ward will be so lovely as mine. We have different 6 teams working in my ward. We have like gastro, we have surgical patients, medical patients, respiratory team working with us, oncology as well. It's amazing. We have like so many different conditions we are covering, and there is so much to learn. That's why I thought I will stay there for another year, just learning more before I move somewhere else, or maybe stay for 1 more year after as well. So my mom, he said to me that after this year of working through the medical service line, after this year he will take me for the 3rd one, employed already directly to the ward, to our ward. But at this stage I don't know what will happen, because next year I'm planning, fingers crossed, to enroll into certificate 4 in assessment in training. It will take me a year to complete that certificate. As far as I know, it used to be a half a year, but now I've heard from some people it's a year now. So I will finish this year, apply for that certificate next year, and by the time I finish, I will have behind my shoulders 3 years of experience as a registered nurse, and then I will need to gain 2 more so I could apply as a teacher at TIFE, because at TIFE they need you to have at least 5 years of experience. They do prefer, of course, clinical background rather than the aged care, but I have both, which is even more beneficial for me. But I thought if I will just take out of my hands the certificate for next year and just complete it a little bit earlier, it would be even better. I've heard from many people that this certificate 4 in assessment and training is a very sucky thing to do. It's like very bad certificate. It gives a lot of headache and it's very hard and makes no sense. Like most of the people say, it's a really terrible one. Also, I'm thinking my hospital, as far as I know, they take nurses when they have 4 years of experience working as a registered nurses. They take them to facilitate students in a hospital, but you will need to have some sort of certificate in assessment and training. So I will try, fingers crossed again, I will try after completing my 4 years of experience at the hospital, already having my certificate in hands, to apply to facilitate students at least like 1 month every half a year if I can. So I will go off the floor for 1 month facilitating the students, you know, and then come back again to the floor, and then the next semester I will do it again. So this will look really good on my resume when I apply at TIFE to be a teacher, because if I have at least like 1 year of facilitating university students at my hospital, it would be perfect. So this is my plan at the moment. And then after I will apply for a teacher position at TIFE, I know they go into contracts. There is no guarantee that you will be offered contract every single year, but you can apply in different branches of TIFE, different campuses. So if your particular campus where you are working now and finishing your year won't take you the next year, you can prep yourself and apply in the nearest area with the different campuses and see if they can take you there. And at the same time, I will be continuing to practice on the ward as well, maybe as a casual, maybe through the agency, I'm not sure, maybe through the particular hospital. I will need to figure that out, because I know there are a particular number of days I will need to be teaching students at TIFE, and then I will need some time to check all the assessments and do some paperwork as well in the campus. I don't know how exactly it works, how many days, but most of our teachers, remembering back then at uni and at TIFE, they were all working still at the hospital and teaching at TIFE, apart from those who've been already retired from the hospital, like the senior nurses who've been like already working for 50+ years of experience. They were only teaching at that stage, but all the young ones, like mid-30s, you know, late 40s, they were all still running the floor and teaching as well. And I think it's a good way to do it that way, because you're still keeping yourself fresh, you still having all your clinical skills going, you don't forget things, you know, your mind is still updated with all the new policies, procedures and everything what's happening on Queensland health system. And then you add in all of that into your teaching as well, to the materials that you're going to present to your students. So it's like a double effect, and I really like that. And I like that TIFE is supporting this type of way for the teachers to be still active at the workforce and to bring your knowledge to the students in the class as well. So these are my plans, guys. We're also planning to move to Gold Coast. I live up north in Brisbane now, but my partner, his family is in Gold Coast. My best friend is in Gold Coast. She's like my sister, and I really want to move near her because she is a big help for me and I just love her so much. And we live so far away from each other, but yeah, I want to move closer to her, and I think it will be better lifestyle for me and my children in Gold Coast. I've always dreamed of living in Gold Coast anywhere, like since I moved here to Queensland, so I think it will be a good opportunity. So we're thinking to move there after 1.5 years ish. My lease is finishing next February, and then we want to take half a year extra to pack ourselves and for me to be able to move. So this way, this kind of idea is still in our plans, but we don't know how the life is going to be. So apart from my move to Gold Coast, I'm still planning separately my work and my studies, no matter what. So if the move will happen, then I will continue my studies in Gold Coast. I will enroll at TIFE there, or I will take a transfer, which is really easy to do anyway, and I will ask my NAM if I can have a transfer within the Queensland Health. Maybe they will find a hospital or something with the position for me there, so that I don't have to apply by myself for the new positions with the hospitals that I will be interested in. So we will see how it will go, but apart from my move, these are my plans for the studies and for the work, no matter what. I thought I will update you guys. So as you can see, it's been 5 years of me reaching my goals, and I'm still in the process of reaching more. And am I satisfied with my results? Yes, definitely. I'm super satisfied. Also, I was thinking to apply for casual pool in one of the hospitals near my area. It's like literally 10 minutes drive, and it's a new hospital, and I thought maybe I can apply there as a casual registered nurse, because the pay of a registered nurse casual is like so good, much better than my aged care. But I have to update my resume, sit down and think it through. I mean, it's easy to do, I just need to find time to do it, you know, because nurses are always needed anywhere. And one of the ENs that work with me on my ward, she is a casual in the hospital that I want to apply for the casual pool, and she said like they always need nurses. So she said definitely apply because the pay is just very good. So yeah, we'll see how I go. I will keep you updated now, every now and then. I will film this type of videos to just keep you updated on what's going on in my life. Maybe my experience can inspire you guys. Maybe you will be one of the nurses who are looking for the same things like me. Maybe you're interested in teaching or whatever. So looking at me, what I'm doing, maybe will give you some ideas as well and inspiration. And I'm happy to inspire you guys, really. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next videos. Bye!